Also, the music for Resident Evil Director's Cut was made by a deaf dude lying about being a musician. That sounds like a lie. That sounds like a bunch of fucking baloney. I don't believe that. Thanks, you're so bombastic. Listen to it, it's horrible. Pretty good so far. I don't see the problem. Oh, that's interesting, Chromie. I'll check that out. The AI was just getting its footing. Yeah. So, okay, well, let's play with this idea for a second. So, if this really was made by a deaf guy pretending to be a musician, surely the people that made the game aren't deaf. They would have heard this and they still put it in the game. They're still at fault. They still said, yeah, good enough. Read the story. You know what, I will. How about that? Now I'm very curious. The wild story behind... Oh, wow. Yeah, there's like a huge article on it here, it seems. I am deeply ashamed of living a lie. Mamoru Samuragochi. Clowns farting. The wild story behind Resident Evil's worst soundtrack. Here's how Mamoru Samuragochi, the disgraced composer once known as Japan's Beethoven, left his mark on the Resident Evil franchise. What a title, Japan's Beethoven. Resident Evil is a franchise built on breathless suspense. Impeccable music and audio design have been foundational to the series' success as zombies and puzzle-filled mansions. Be it the chilling ambient sounds of Raccoon City in Resident Evil 3, the uniquely unsettling wreckage of a mad experience in RE2, or even the cryptic implementation of Moonlight Sonata in 1996 original sound and music, or lack thereof. In the 1996 original sound and music, or lack thereof, have immeasurably enriched the atmosphere of this consistently intense gaming experience across the past quarter century. Sure, there have been a handful of questionable choices. The insatiable funk rock of RE2's Scenario B ending is a prime example of a bone-chillingly poor creative choice. But as far as misstep goes, nothing trumps the bizarre revisions to the soundtrack for PlayStation's Resident Evil Director's Cut DualShock Edition. The story behind this curious misstep is even stranger, and the 25th anniversary of the original Resident Evil is a fine time to revisit one of the oddest chapters in the series' history. Here's how Mamoru Samuragochi, the disgraced composer once known as Japan's Beethoven, left his mark. I mean, he looks really cool. Like, if we were just going by the eyeball test, I'd be like, you know what? This could very well be Japan's Beethoven. I trust him. 1997 Resident Evil had been a smash hit. Speculation about the game's highly publicized sequel was rampant. RE2 was stuck in development hell. Eventually, the stagnant, unfinished incarnation, now referred to as Resident Evil 1.5, would be scrapped entirely and rebuilt from the start. In an attempt to placate bloodthirsty fans, Capcom released the Director's Cut in 1997. With a new rearranged mode, multiple difficulty options, and superficial design revisions, series producer Shinji Mikami regretted not updating the soundtrack. So when Director's Cut DualShock Edition was greenlit the following year to take advantage of the new controller's vibration functions, Capcom commissioned a shiny new symphonic soundtrack to enhance the experience. And who better to provide that extra layer of atmosphere than Japanese Beethoven? So this is Requiem Hiroshima by Mamoru Samuragochi. This was in 2013, so he's got to be like an actual skilled composer, right? Yeah, 100%. He was chosen to replace the work. He could play the works of Beethoven and Bach on the piano by the age of 10, he claimed, and in 2001, in an interview for Time, he said that losing his hearing was a gift from God. His heritage of talent would later make him the subject of the 2013 television documentary Melody of Souls. In some cases, it was arguably superior to the original soundtrack. Take mansion first floor at... what? Appreciate it, Chromie. I'll definitely take a look. Plant 42 sounds like a keyboard being injected with the series mutagenic T virus. Thanks, Mr. Beverson. This is what I used to make on my little toy piano when I was a kid. Samuragochi. Oh, he wasn't deaf. Stranger still, he managed to keep up this ruse for 16 years, even after the game's soundtrack exposed his shortcomings. I truly believed he was deaf, with the way that sounds. So he's just that untalented? Doubts were raised over Samuragochi's disability in 2014, when Weekly Magazine Era published a damning report on the composer. During an interview, he had been observed to answer questions before the sign language interpreter had finished translating. He was also said to have answered the doorbell immediately to receive a taxi once the session had finished. How did he get away with it for so long then? Wait, how would you possibly squeak away this ruse for this many years? You could have absolutely... Wait, why not just have like a sign language interpreter? Wait, how? So in February 2014, part-time Toho Gakuen University musical department lecturer named Takashi Nagaki went public in an hour-long television press conference. Nagaki revealed that he had been pinning tunes for the imposter composer for 18 years. Oh, I see. So he didn't compose that piece in 2013. He had somebody else do it. You can hear some stuff, just not like his wife and stuff. Oh. He told reporters he had been paid 7 million yen, just under 80K, for over 20 composed works. The Resident Evil Director's Cut DualShock Edition soundtrack amongst them. Wait, so this guy might be deaf. Wait, so this is the guy? Wait, so this is the guy who made the Resident Evil soundtrack? So it wasn't even the allegedly deaf guy? He'd chosen to stay out of the limelight initially so as to not disturb his teaching career. As Samuragochi became famous, Nagaki raised concerns. In response, Samuragochi threatened to take his own life if Nagaki stopped working for him. Nagaki called his bluff, revealing to the world that Samuragochi was in fact a musically unskilled imposter whose hearing worked just fine. Jesus Christ. What a fucking story. Samuragochi apologized for his deceit, but it was a half-hearted response. I am deeply ashamed of living a lie, he wrote in handwritten notes sent to the media, adding that the truth is that I recently have begun to hear a little again. Oh my god. How cringe. Fallout was understandably catastrophic. Record label Nippon Columbia withdrew CDs and DVDs from the shelves. Publisher Tokyo Hustle canceled the scheduled release of 3 further scores. And in perhaps the most humiliating act of all, the mayor of Hiroshima threatened to strip Samuragochi of the Citizens Award granted to him for promoting the city's message of nuclear disarmament. We are aghast, Mayor Kazumi Matsui told Daily Newspaper. Huh. He's disappeared from the public eye. His perished career has been reanimated through Nagaki, who has become popular and acclaimed composer in his own right. Last year, Nagaki announced plans to open Shibuya Musical College, an online college allowing students to take as many courses as desired for a monthly fee of $9. Huh. But this is the guy who still made the Resident Evil Director's Cut soundtrack? Nagaki? What an interesting tale. Which, is this the clowns farting one? Oh yeah, I saw Belle Delphine's got that new sex doll. Jesus Christ, Croby, that sounds fucking ridiculous. Okay, so that's probably the clowns farting. Oh, yeah, even right under here. Well, that was a deeper tale than I expected.